For more on this, let's bring in retired U.S. Navy Commander Christopher Harmer, who's worked on several missions deployed with Special Ops teams during his career. He currently works as a senior naval analyst at the Institute for the Study of War. So, Chris, you say this is a good idea. Why?
Yes, Jenna, thanks for having me. It's a great idea. All we're really seeing here is the Marine Corps return to its roots as a maritime service. Over the past 12 years, the Marine Corps has spent so much time involved in land wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. The Marines really didn't have the ability to put their special forces on ships. By doing this, all we're doing is pre-positioning forces in small packages where they can be flexible and respond to crises on the ground when they occur.
Tell us a little bit about your background, Chris. We mentioned that you've interacted with some of these Special Ops teams. Tell us a little bit about what you did.
Yeah, as a Navy helicopter pilot, I spent 20 years active duty United States Navy, and I spent a great deal of my time dealing with Navy SEAL teams, providing airborne support to them, doing special forces insertions, extractions. Spent a lot of time in Iraq, also a lot of time in the Mediterranean and off the coast, the east coast of Africa, in and around Somalia. So it's a real pleasure to work with them, and it's absolutely fascinating how a small application of force at the right time in the right place can shape the broader story, can shape the broader narrative.
Let's talk a little bit about perception versus reality, because the Special Ops community certainly has garnered a lot of attention post-Bin Laden, and there's a great expectation surrounding these operators, arguably the best operators in the world. But, Chris, they also have a lot of support behind them. What about that part of the story? Having the response teams is one thing, but what do you think about the support behind them? Do we have adequate support behind, let's say, a small group of individuals that are responding to crisis?
Yes, Jenna, we absolutely do. That's a great question, but one of the advantages of having a Navy and Marine Corps team, the way it's set up currently, is we can take these small teams, we can put them on ships, and there's a lot of support that's already built into the ship systems. There's a lot of communications, all the things you need to provide logistics to teams ashore. Now, one of the shortcomings of special operations is they can't fight a major war just by themselves. The best way to think of special operations forces is they are enablers. They can open the door, they can get intelligence, they can conduct targeted strikes. That's what special operations do. And placing more of them on ships where they're a little more mobile and where they've got the support systems built into the ships really makes a lot of sense.
Well, the question then comes down to the ships, right? Whether or not we have the amount of aircraft carriers that we're used to, for example, in the Persian Gulf. We've heard a lot about that with sequester, about whether or not we're going to be deploying some of those ships. And there seems to be this perception, Chris, that with the drones, special operators out there, that modern warfare as we know it with bigger armies is somehow over, especially considering some of the budget restrictions. You know, what's the right expectation on that?
Well, the right expectation is that drones do a great job of providing information, and in very limited situations, very specific situations, they can conduct combat strikes, but there's really no substitute for actual force. Now, in terms of the Navy deployments to the Persian Gulf and to the Middle East, we don't lack the ships. What we lack is the operating budgets to deploy them. Sequestration has really taken a hit on both the ability of the Navy to deploy as well as our readiness, our ability to train to get ready to deploy.
Chris, great to have you. Well, that's one of the bigger questions that we're going to explore in the future, too, is that if we're going to be deploying these smaller forces, how much can we put on their shoulders and reasonably expect them to do? It looks like that's part of the evolution that we're going, at least for now. Look forward to having you back, Chris. Thank you for the time today.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a